Hello internets, welcome back to the Waifus. I'm Sefhi, your favorite gambling addict, and it is time we talk about the new gangster, Michael Jackson. Snorky, it's here finally. So let's talk a little bit about her for some reference on my Snorky before we jump into this. 1 million combat power, level 120, skills at 10, 10, 10. I'm not going any higher, it's already expensive enough. Journey and level 2, so 2 stars. I will never go for the 3 stars. Already going for 2 stars is depleting my gems way too fast. And there is 2 more asides next week. And so yeah, that's where she is right now. And then obviously rank 8 gear on the +5 with the HP, physical def, and magical def. So let's talk a little bit about Snorky. I like her quite a bit, but she's not a main tank. She will not be your main tank. So let's jump into this. Leave a like, subscribe, and make the channel. If you don't want to watch the whole video for whatever reason, tier 2 tank with Komi. And there is a simple reason for this. She fills the same role as Ron. She is an off tank. And rather than a support, she's kind of close to a support. I wouldn't call her like a pure support. But she will be helping your team as an off tank. And she has pretty good damage herself as well. Her biggest downside is that as a normal tank, right, she will basically kill your team half the time. So why is she killing your team, Sefhi? Well, her kit is pretty nice. So her first one skill drinks the illegal soy milk in her possession to grant a shield to front row allies. If the shield is destroyed or it ends, reduces physical defense of nearby enemies. If there are 3 or more enemies close to her, she recovers her own HP. So this is pretty nice because the front row shield helps Komi, helps Gideon, helps anyone you put in there. The HP recovery only happens on normal stages or if bosses spawn adds. If there are no adds, and it's a normal boss, this skill will not proc this extra HP recovery. Still, the shields are pretty nice. Then you have the senior skill, leaps high and stomps the ground, dealing AoE, physical damage, and knockback. If 3 or more enemies are nearby, physical damage and knockback range are increased. It goes from 800% to 1700%. Her damage is actually pretty decent. I think you can use her as a sub DPS, no problem at all. She was doing pretty good on tower. We cleared fully the depressed tower while we were testing her, and she was doing pretty well. She was doing more damage than most of my DPS, depending on the stage, obviously. Then we have her passive. When using an enhanced attack, increase her own damage and reduces incoming damage. Pretty good for her own survivability, and also a 60% increase on damage for 3 seconds. Pretty nice. Now, here comes the biggest quote-unquote problem and why she cannot be a main tank on most stages. Her basic attack is just physical damage, but her enhanced attack, for every 3rd normal attack, performs a flying kick at the enemy closest to the ally formation, dealing AoE physical damage. Enhanced attack can trigger again at a set chance, blah blah blah. But the problem is this closest to the ally formation. So let's say your Gideon does 3 headbutts and she brings an enemy to where your Yomi is, because she does this a lot. This dork will bring enemies to your mid lane and even to your back line, depending what you're doing. Your Snorky, as your only tank, when she does her enhanced attack, will go chase that enemy that is now on your mid lane or your back line and will get everyone killed. And this happens as well if there are assassin enemies, because the assassin will target the back line. So she will go running to the back line to fight whoever is there. Now, if there are no characters that can break her, if there are no assassins, you could use her as your main tank. But in most content, your main tank will remain this cat right here. And Snorky will act as a secondary tank, and she is a really good one for that. Because when there are assassins, she is an assassin killer. She was killing everyone when we were doing tower. Here, no problem at all. She was, let me remove the chat screen there. She was killing all of the assassins here, no problems at all, right? So she has pretty good damage, pretty good survivability. She helps the team, reducing damage to everyone that's close to her, and her aside too is also pretty nice. So her aside, normal one is just a stat increase, and the A2 at the start of the wave grants a shield to front row allies and increases their outgoing damage. When using an enhanced attack, reduces incoming damage for nervy allies. So that is the increase we are getting, right? The shield is coming from here. Her A3, if you were to be getting this, it's reducing the incoming damage of all allies. Pretty good, but that is way too expensive, so we are not getting that, at least not me, right? I think the A3s are not worth getting. Now, I recommend getting a copy if your main team is the press. If you are not the press main, I would not pull for a Snorky. I don't think there is a reason to. Because at least Ron, you could say, yeah, you can use her on Elias Frontier as a buffer. If even, you know, for the stages where there is no personality bonuses. But when it comes to Snorky, there is no reason to pull for her unless your main team is the press, which a lot of you is your main team, right? Now, what is the main team if you are going with the press right now then? Your front line is going to be really strong, your main tank is going to be coming, and then you have two options, or even both of them if you wanted, with the Snorky and Kidian. Kidian, one of the strongest damage dealers in the game, and now you have a Snorky who will be a sub DPS and also provide a shield for all three of them, with damage reduction, with great damage herself, pretty good off tank. Even if you are not running Kidian, you can still run all of your normal mid lane characters, right? Your Blanchett, your Yomi, your Hilde. I think Blanchett might be the one we are replacing, so you can still run your Xion here. And then this last spot is the one that will be switching the most. For some people might be Kidian, for some people might be Ashur, for some people might be Blanchett. And even some people that for PvP might still be using Potion, right? So I think it's just more options for the Depressed team, which is great, and also for Elias Frontier and some game modes, we still need 9 characters. Also, the next raid it's going to be Depressed, so obviously this team will be destroying every single boss in there, right? And Snorky will be doing pretty good damage herself. So I do like her, I think she's a really good character, but the reason she's a T2 is because she will be acting as that sub DPS of tank rather than your main tank. Now, like I said earlier, she can be your only tank depending on the stage. If there are no enemies jumping around or your team is not jumping around, she can be your main tank. But in most situations, someone will make it so Snorky is moving around the map constantly, going back and forth, chasing one enemy, right? And she might get everyone killed because of that. Because if she is your only tank and she goes to the backline, every enemy is going with her to the backline. So, a really nice character with some drawback, but I don't think it's a problem. She's more than usable. I've been having fun with her. We cleared the whole tower, and it was pretty good. Now, when it comes to her card, I would not really recommend pulling one for collection if you get lucky early on or if you have some currency left over, but I wouldn't ticket it. This is a card that if the beater's HP is 50% or more, increases max HP by 10% and increases defense by 20%. And this doesn't stack, but it is based on the percentage HP of the character. Depending on the tank, can be good, can be bad. Increases HP and attack speed as main stats. So for the tanks that are based on percentage, this might not be as good, but for herself, for Snorky herself, it's actually a pretty nice card because it will make it so her enhanced attack also applies a stun at the 50% chance, which is pretty nice, right? Pretty nice, also increasing her damage. So, I would get the card if it's your main team, that the press is your main team and you have some leftover currency, but I wouldn't go too crazy on it. I don't think this is a card that will see a lot of usage endgame wise. Obviously, if you guys do think different, do let me know in the comments what you think the card should actually be a must pull for players. I don't think it's the case. The price is pretty nice at 18, so at least that is good. To me, it was a copy. This is the first card I'm getting only a copy because with the asides now coming with for so many characters, it's just too expensive. So yeah, that's it for me. Now, before we go and before we leave, last thing I do want to say is what type of items work for Snorky, and also next week we are getting aside for Diana. If you guys have her or close to 5-star, right? We're getting a banner for her and also an aside and a banner for Seist. Same thing, I'm missing 5 shards here. So I need 4 copies in total, 2 for Seist, 2 for Diana. We will be pulling for both of them. Hopefully we don't get shafted and I have to use my devotion on them, which it is what it is if we have to use it, right? That's it. For Snorky, before we go, items that will be good on her are items with HP and attack. So her own item with the attack SP HP is good for her. The leads item obviously is good for her. The Chopin item, because his HP attack, is good for her. Items like even the Elena drone with the HP attack are great for her. Anything HP attack that will help her stay alive while doing more damage works. Even if you want to go full DPS on her, you could. It would be a little bit of a troll, but you could, right? But the mix will be better than going full defensive item on her. So the recommendations are not on the website yet, but will be Chopin Magical Backpack, Elena's Enhanced Drone, her own card, and the Leeds Worn Whetstone, because that is the best item for like almost any fucking character in the game, honestly. That's it. Enough jumping, enough ranting. That's everything for today's video. Do let me know if you guys were lucky with the Snorky Angel pulls. And as usual, good luck with your pull generates. And I'll see you in the next one.